Well, well, well. I was wondering when this was going to get around. Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Jordon. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the film Foodfight. Labeled, understandably so, one of the worst animated films of all time. Because there's speculation of the budget's between 25 to 50 million, and you have a film that doesn't look like it cost 50 cents. So obviously there's shenanigans going on, and you can read about it on Wikipedia, but it's like, even 25 million, it doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like it cost $2 million. Doesn't look like it cost $2. The fucking kid from Better Off Dead's asked for the $2 to finish his fucking film off, baby. So I don't know how the hell anything like this needs a documentary that would be more interesting than the goddamn movie that I just saw. And you look at the cast, you got Charlie Sheen, you got Christopher Lloyd, you got Ed Asner, you got Wayne Brady from Whose Line Is It Anyway, and let's see, you got Chris Kattan, you got Larry Miller, Hilary Duff. So you have some recognizable people voice-wise, and it's kind of trying to be, imagine a much, much, much cleaner version of maybe Sausage Party. And the fact it takes place in a store, is about food and what goes on with the food in the store. Only a lot of these are mascots. The leads are kind of made up. Like Charlie Sheen's a made up mascot for a cereal, and he's like a dog that at times dressed like Indiana Jones. But you have like little appearances from Mr. Clean, and I think the tuna. Fuck, I forgot his name. It's funny when you look at the cover. One looks like the Twinkie guy, and I don't remember him in the goddamn movie. One is the with the pickles, the bird. If you blink, you'll miss him. And you get like maybe one or two little scenes with the tuna. And like the ones who are on the cover are barely in it. If they have more than, all three of them combined have more than 2 minutes, it'd be surprising. Because again, I must have zonked out, but is the one in the back like the Twinkie? And then the other, like, it's so weird. Like they go through the idea of mascots and then they don't even use them as the main characters. At least the ones on the fucking cover. And apparently in the making of the film, there's something about hard drives were stolen. Industrial espionage. Obviously someone was trying to, maybe it was God himself, struck this thing down to not get a release from the bowels of hell. Sadly, he failed. And it's one of those scenes where you take a look at the film, you look up the trailer, you look up any clips of footage, that automatically tells you, without me saying a goddamn word, why this film is bad. All you have to do is look at any type of footage, and it tells you the whole story. It tells a story about how either Charlie Sheen sounds like he doesn't want to be there, Wayne Brady, who plays the sidekick, Chocolate Squirrel, is trying to be any type of stereotype with the way he talks. Christopher Lloyd, I don't know why the hell he did this. And again, if he's in it for more than 5 minutes, I'd be surprised. Now is the animation ugly, butt ugly, fugly, fucking shitstorm of diarrhea. It's at times characters will just do movements out of the blue. Like a lot of characters just have this tendency to do like this and do a spin around for no reason. As if the animator said, okay, here's a program, here's a move, and they just do that because it's easier to program it that way. There's a lot of terrible, terrible puns involving food, whether it be, oh man, if I had a raisin for every time someone said that, or, you know, proposed her? You got 4 carrots? And it's a ring with 4 carrots on it. Or whether it be, he sees his buddy flying around on the plane messing around and he says, oh, for flying out loud, instead of for crying out loud. In a bar, there's a guy eating too many potato chips and he's like, easy on the potatoes, otherwise you don't get chip-faced. Instead of shit-faced, it's chip-faced. Or instead of frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, it's frankly, my dear, I don't give a spam. Or let's snap, crackle, and pop out of here. This is the dialogue we have. The animation is absolute 100% glorified garbage. There's no excuse that for any amount of money, when people on fucking YouTube with no money has done better animation, and that's not being outrageous or over the top. It's fucking true. It's fucking true. The story in this supermarket, which there's a city at night when it's closed, and all the mascots and stuff come out. There's this detective dog who's a mascot for a cereal named Dex played by Charlie Sheen, and he solves all these crimes, including he's solving a crime where the fat cat burglar, who is a fucking fat rat with a black and white remember old back in the day, people in jail had the uniform of black and white stripes. And I'm like, why is he calling him a fat cat burglar? He's a fucking rat. Oh, he's fat and he's a cat burglar because the things he stole are kittens. So he's a fat and he's a cat burglar because he stole cats. So fat cat burglar to this rat. And there are times where the animation, like the backgrounds will change. Like it'll be the same type of environment, and when they go back there a couple minutes later, the background is different. In terms of, imagine this background here, right? Now imagine if you walk away, you come back for 2 minutes, and then the poster here is blue and this chair is green, so there's no amount of consistency. When you have background shots of characters, like crowd scenes, you can tell there's people that just multiply and copied. Like there's like 4 or 5 fucking rabbis in one scene. At times the copies do the exact same moves, like the same jump together. It's the laziest of lazy type of animated films. And yes, this easily belongs on the worst animated films list. Now, obviously, I heard so much about it, so it's not much of a shock seeing it. But I can imagine if you knew nothing about it, I don't know why you would watch it. But hey, maybe, hey, I like Charlie Sheen back in the day, or I like Christopher Lloyd, or hey, it's for kids and it's goofy, and then you witness this and you wasted your money on it. I can imagine blowing your brains through the back wall of the kitchen. And the plot is, after that, there's this girl who has cat ears, which I don't understand, because when you see her product, the character has no cat ears. So how come on her product she has no cat ears, but in this realm she has cat ears? Anyway, that's voiced by Hilary Duff. They're in love. Charlie Sheen has, again, a chocolate squirrel sidekick who flies a plane, voiced by Wayne Brady, who's just very over the top for every like stereotype of, oh hey bro, how's it going? It's going crazy. I don't know how else you put into it. And he crashes his plane because he's a dumbass. They separate. They don't come back later. And the girl, Hilary Duff, her character's name is Sunshine, she goes missing. Then you have a time jump of months. And Dex, Charlie Sheen, he's no longer a detective. He's opened up a bar, a club. And just a lot of stuff as I'm watching this. Not only just your eyes are bleeding from the stuff you're seeing. I feel like one of the fucking people in Raiders of the Lost Ark that's going to melt any minute now, or my head's going to explode. Because this fucking evil Ark of the Covenant connotations ready to fry my brain. And then in the real world, Christopher Lloyd, who's moving so weird, you wonder why the fuck he's moving that way, but you find out later why. Spoiler alert, a character who's a femme fatale in the city is controlling this human, Christopher Lloyd, who's a robot. That's why he's moving so fucking weird. Because wants to put out Brand X as, I guess, revenge for her brand getting kicked out or getting done or getting discontinued, or I still don't know what the fuck. It's not their fault. You think she'd be blaming the humans, but whatever the fuck. Maybe there's another reason. I didn't give a shit. I really didn't. And so many times the characters' faces are either dead faces, or they move like a spaz, or like Wayne Brady Squirrel will be like, his face moving like this, and like at random times like doing fucking 360 turns, spins, and lip syncing's off. Like, just the laziest of lazy hack jobs. It's fucking ridiculous. For what supposedly the money is someone stole some fucking money. I think that's what happened. I think this was a big old con job and someone stole some fucking money and they disappeared. Like, this was some con job. They're living on a beach getting necked in Tahiti or something. And also, some of the dialogue, like, it's for kids, but it's not appropriate for kids. I agree with other reviewers that have said that, because, like, there's a scene where Wayne Brady's character is flying and he sees a lady with her tits ready to be pulled out. And he's like, oh, nice packaging. I'm going to butter your muffins. How about some chocolate frosting? I'm like, is he talking about, what is he doing, cum on her face? There's a point that he tries or something and chocolate comes out. So I'm guessing other things come out of chocolate, whether he pisses. Either he's going to piss her in her mouth or he's going to come on her face. I would assume by, would you want some chocolate frosting? Talk about take a bite out, literally eat his ass, I guess. Talk about new type of Hershey Highway. Or you have this penguin who's like ice cream or whatever. I think that's voiced by Chris Kattan. Chris Kattan was on Saturday Night Live. Night at the Roxbury. It was him and Will Ferrell for Night at the Roxbury and those skits. Ran out of fucking water. Here we go. Here's another one. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And every pun he has, it's not even a pun, but he just keeps bitching about how warm it is. Because he's cold, it's from the freezer, and it's too warm. I'm surprised they didn't try to do ice puns like fucking Arnold and Batman and Robin. You have people saying lines like, kiss my additives, as in kiss my ass. You have appearances like Mr. Clean has a few appearances, doesn't talk at all. The California Raisins make an appearance. Like I said, backgrounds where we have repeated characters and or repeated animations. When the our lead Dex is in his club, someone comes in who's like a sexy femme fatale, and like she's wearing like a schoolgirl outfit, and she's like lifting her leg right on top of his shoulder, and she's saying lines like, "I want to scrub your bubbles." I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? If I was 7 years old, I would get the hint. Watching this shit. And then it goes into pretty much the bad guys are wannabe Nazis. And a lot of like, they don't say the word Nazis, but they're pretty much Nazis. There's even a shot where the femme fatale lifts her leg. Like in this. Imagine she's over here, she lifts her leg like this in this arch, and a bunch of planes come out this way. Like, yeah, they're coming out of her pussy. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this? There's a point where our main character, the dog and the squirrel, get put into a dryer, but it's a dryer that also has fire in it for some reason. And like, if people fall, if they're jumping to the top to the ground, they just fall like this. The Mrs. Buttersworth has an appearance in this, throwing, I guess, pancakes, but like this big. But when they drop, they explode as if they were as big as a fucking house. There's a battle going on. It's just them shooting food at each other from cannons and other variety ways. And you just don't care. You don't care about the story, the characters, the plot. The animation is butt ugly. And it's just completely fucking boring because of that. At just the point that you find the Christopher Lloyd's character walking around and something trips him up and you realize the femme fatale is in there, and the Hilary Duff's character is rescued. Hilary Duff beats up that femme fatale and does a couple punches, and then punched the femme fatale so hard she went back to her old ugly form. Because I guess this was like surgery the femme fatale had gotten. And literally, you know how the phrase bitch slapped her? The character says, she chip slapped her back to ugly. Chip instead of bitch. Because number one, can't say bitch. Even though we have all this other stuff going on. And hey, chip. You know, chips. Food. It's a food fight. So there's a fight. I mean, every step of the way, I mean, have an idea to have all of these characters in it that are promotional tools. Talk about product placement to high heaven and hell. So already you're not going to get much people giving this a chance. Then you have some of the cheapest animation I've seen in a full-length film. Then you have either over-the-top caricatures like Wayne Brady, or people who don't give a flying fuck like Charlie Sheen. Just watch, I don't know, reading this from his shower or from his fucking toilet or something. When he's pulling 7-gram rocks. Winning, had one word, go epic winning. Are you bipolar? I'm by winning. Win here, win there, win everywhere. I'm sorry, I still remember that song. If you don't, look up Sonify Charlie Sheen. Songify. Sonify. Charlie Sheen. Are you bipolar? I'm by winning. Win here, win here. Win there, win, win everywhere. That got me more of a smile than this entire goddamn movie. Like I said, just everything's cheap about it. Backgrounds that keep changing. Animations are dead face, or just shaky, or spinning, or just doing whatever the hell they want. A story you don't give a fuck about. Nothing witty or clever. Even the usage of mascots, they don't even use the ones people would notice, and the ones on the cover are barely in it. In fact, one I think I saw once or twice briefly for a few seconds. One I don't remember seeing at all. And the tuna probably has like one scene where he talks and others. It's just crazy to me that horrible, terrible, unfunny puns, or they do repeated gags. Like when they show the outside of the supermarket, they show a car hitting a shopping cart like 3 or 4 fucking times. I'm like, okay, and so the fuck what? There's nothing funny, entertaining. The only interesting thing would be a full-blown, honest documentary where someone admits what the fuck happened. Maybe someone's like, hey, no one can extradite me from here, so I'm going to tell the whole fucking story. And I would love to hear that story. Hell, I'll say this. If you're the person that stole the fucking money, come onto my channel and talk to me. I'll be just asking you questions. I won't even judge. I'll just say, what the fuck happened? I'd say, wow, I'm actually impressed. How much money did you steal? All 50 million? Or was it just 25 million? Damn, how much did you actually go in the movie? About $1.85. Yeah, that's, I don't know, too big of a budget for what I saw. Well, okay, maybe 85 cents. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Son of a bitch. You know how all the kids will understand Gone with the Wind dialogue, like, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Or they'll understand what the hell the Nazis are. I mean, that'd be like back to the day watching Full House and seeing a bunch of Nazis on there. What's going on, Michelle? I went to school and there's someone with a swastika. And then Joey's like, doing impersonations of fucking Hitler. Or John Stamos trying to do a song about how bad Hitler is. Uncle Jesse. Doesn't work, does it? Although maybe some people would rather see that episode of Full House. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later.